Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to your morning Spurs show, Cockerel Doodle Doo on Tottenham on Tour, joined by three amazing guests today. Let's do some housekeeping. Mark, sir, how are you, Grandpa?
I'm all okay. All is good in the world.
Good, good,
Looking
good.
forward to the show.
Ash, darling, how are you?
I'm all right. I was a little under the weather after the United game, but now I'm absolutely peachy.
There we go. And last but not least, David, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Really well.
Good, good, good. Right, let's just do the housekeeping and say hello to everyone. Tibor, good morning, sir. Tony, good morning, brother. Edis, good morning. Australia is in the house. Good morning, David. Tiger 299 is here. Tom is here. My man, Ray the Yid, is here. Good morning to you, sir. Chris Agenbar, good morning. Sean, I hope you're okay, buddy. He's on very, very icy roads at the moment, so drive safely, buddy. Andrew Gregory, good morning. Richard, good morning. Colin Cross, the Welsh correspondent in the chat, is here with you, David. Sammy, good morning. Graham, I saw that comment. Frosty North Cotswolds. I've just shown Mark and Dave. It's minus 15 here at the moment, but with the wind chill, it is a balmy minus 23. I'm not stepping foot out the house today. Fran, good morning to you. Darren is who set the alarm an hour early to be here. He's on the same time zone as me, I believe. Good morning to you, sir. MZ, good morning. I'm not going to mention something that happened last night. Apart from that, shame. Yoris, good morning. Rayman, good morning. Good morning. Who else we've got? Anurag, good morning. Neil, good morning. Rich, good morning. Exy, good morning. John Ellis Hall, good morning. Mario, good morning. Hypo Noise, good morning. Big up Mr. James Flower. Who else is here? Donovan is with us. John Ellis Hall, I've already done him. So good, I've done him twice. Bob Down Under. Sonaldino, Simon Cohen, good morning, sir. Keith Edwards. Bill is here. Has he? I'm going to have to check that out. If that has happened,
Yeah,
I'm
it should come at Spurs officials. Just put it up.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Big smile on my. Okay. Right. So let's talk about that immediately. The wonderful. I am so happy. 2024 is absolutely kicking ass. I didn't think we could bring him back. We obviously could. Good morning, Artisan. I think this puts to bed. I'll let everyone else speak, then I'll go. But I think this puts to bed, and I'll go to you first, Ash. Any thoughts of Conor Gallagher? I think I literally they haven't brought him back just to be out on loan again, unless it's to another championship team. What's your thoughts, Ash?
Yeah, I didn't even before Alfie was recalled. I didn't think Conor Gallagher was getting done, especially because Chelsea want a lot of money for him because of FFP, and we're not exactly the club you go to when you want a lot of money for someone. So I really didn't think it was happening anyway. But this I think makes it very clear where our priorities lie. I also believe that January is almost over. Soon we'll have our players coming back. Buying a midfielder just for like a stopgap 2 or 3 weeks makes no sense to me. Play your academy, play all the young players that we have. We have so many players who can slot into a midfield role. Just let play them until our players come back. Like, it's not a long time. It's about 2.5 weeks. So I don't see the point of spending uselessly just for that, especially in these times with FFP and so many issues that come with spending.
There we go. Well, Rayman's Alpha Cup must mean no CM signing and maybe Højbjerg. It could mean a lot of things. Dave, what's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna get minutes with us, boy,
A very, very good friend of mine. A
Yeah,
very good friend of mine.
yeah. If he's actually going to get minutes with us, then fair enough. It makes sense to bring him back now. He's been doing very well at Port Vale. He's looked very bright there, and I mean, other than that, if he's to come back and go out on another loan, it's either we're going to use him in some sort of deal, like Spence, or if we're not, then it's just pointless to pull him out of Port Vale because apparently we've exercised the right to bring him back. They haven't. So there's got in there, but it's exciting. I mean, I rate Alfie Devine. I think he's a talent. And if Højbjerg is to leave, oh, hell no. If Højbjerg is to leave, you wouldn't mind a Devine on the bench because, you've got to start bringing these players into the first team. It's all right going out and spending the 50, 60 million, whatever, 40 million for players, but we're hindering progress. You know what I mean? So hopefully this is a good thing. Hopefully we're going to use him. And yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see.
It is. Mark, your thoughts on my man? I wouldn't say my man crush. Who said it? It was Hyper. It's not my man crush, just a player I have got. He is, like I said, if the club was sold right now or I was buying Spurs merchandise, the very first thing I would have done is buy a shirt with Alfie Devine's name on it. Because I've been saying this guy's name for ages and ages and ages. But Mark, what's your overall thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I completely agree with what David and Ash have said. Like, if he's coming back, hopefully he gets minutes, because these players, they won't hang about forever if they're not getting anything. I mean, if they don't get minutes, they're going to ask to leave. So I sort of, it's like Ash said, it's only 2 or 3 weeks and we got everyone back. And if he can see a clear route into the first team, then why not bring him back?
Yeah, literally, all I can say is the biggest thing I can only think of is they've been impressed with his development so much that they want him getting championship experience.
Yeah.
I can honestly see him coming in and going straight out to a championship team because he hasn't played a minute for us in proper football. He hasn't pre-season. Good morning, Kaufman. Hope you're good, brother. The only thing I can think of, the immediate thing I thought was Gallagher not coming and we're going to start using him, but I can only see it as he may be going to a championship team. But either way, Port Vale must be absolutely gutted because he was starring for them. He was. I've had Port Vale fans messaging me, or I've been watching. Oh, I can take Port Vale off all my notifications now. It was nice following Port Vale for 5 months. I can go back to just following Spurs, but he has got to be going out on loan to the Championship. I reckon he's gone by the end of the window. But a player that has gone, or just waiting for it to be done, we've got the here we go for an outgoing, and Sergio Reguilón, Ash, is going to be at Brentford, who have needed a left back. They're about to sign him, and they will still need a left back. So I don't think he's very good at all. But what's your thoughts?
I think it makes sense. The Brentford left back is injured, so he'll definitely play, which is good for him and good for us because his value has really when he came in, he was hot property. He was coming in from the La Liga with all of this, like Real Madrid was seeing him as the next big left back. They just wanted to develop him and then play him in 2-3 years. There was a lot of promise around this kid. We thought we were buying the next big talent, but unfortunately it didn't pan out.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, all that Iberian ham did him wrong. But whatever the case is, now his value has dropped a lot, and we have a lot of left backs like that, Sessegnon, Reguilón. So we need to increase their value. He'll get guaranteed minutes. He'll play. Hopefully, if he plays a few matches here and there that he does well, we can sell him for something. So I think it's good all around as a deal.
Yep, I have to say, Colin, it went very, very well. Thank you. The first day went so well. I'm thinking about going back for a second one today. That's how good it was. No, it went really, really well. Really, really nice company. Really, really good people. And looking forward to. Amazed that I fell asleep so quickly after this show. I go back to sleep, wake up at about what time? 1 o'clock UK time. Have an hour to myself, then get the day going. But I tell you what, at the end of last night, I was in bed by 7:15 in the evening. That's how tired I was. So it'll be an adjustment. But going back to Reggie, Mark, what's been your thoughts on Reggie?
Yeah, no. When he came in, he played really well. And it's like you said, it's until that ham was bought for him. You know, I actually liked him, but like it tells you everything. When he was at Man United, they even played a centre back in his place. You know, they had I forget who it was, but they had one of their centre backs out in his place. So that sort of says everything. You know, if you can't even get in your preferred position, and they play someone out of position in your place, that sort of says everything. I mean, it's like I said, when he first came, I rated him. You know, he looked good, but then he seemed to have fell off a cliff, like many of our signings do. So I wish him good luck, and you know, hopefully we get some money for him.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, Dave, I'll come to you. When he started with Gareth Bale, he started off like a house on fire, didn't he? He looked really, really good. Then he was part of the contingency with Lamella and Lo Celso that got caught breaking COVID.
Yeah.
Then we had the ham, and the only thing I can actually remember him doing recently is scoring that incredible own goal against Aston Villa, which was an incredible volley from the edge of the area going backwards. How he had the techers to do it is incredible. What was your thoughts on Reguilón?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, with him coming in with Bale and the way all that happened and everything, I think everyone was super excited because obviously Bale's back and he did start off, you know what I mean, okay. I mean, he didn't light the world on fire, but you know what I mean, then balls into Bale and Bale scoring and everything, everyone was loving it. But again, it's another player that's going out on loan that will end up coming back to us and we'll end up having to fight to get rid of him. And we know since Jose left, you know what I mean? He wouldn't get any time under Conte. He's not going to get any time under Ange. So, you know what I mean? If this is the only way we can get him out of the club at the moment, then great. You know what I mean? It's a loan for Brentford. Get a little relationship with them going. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they'll loan us Tony until the end of the window. You know, it'd be great, you know? But
he's back today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's good for Reggie. You know what I mean? It gets him into the eye to be sold in the summer, most likely now. And yeah, you know, that's all it is, really, isn't it? Gets him game time. Brentford need him at the moment, and it builds a little repertoire with them. Do you know what I mean? Between the two clubs, so it's one of them things, isn't it?
So he's had loans now: Sevilla, 6 months Manchester United, 6 months Brentford, and as Michael said, can you remember when he first came? We were worried about Real Madrid exercising the buyback.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. I'm just going to bring a picture up as well whilst we're talking about this. We'll move on to the other left back momentarily. Now, I know this picture is kind of a little bit misleading, but I saw it this morning. Look at that there. Now, obviously, Romero could have got on the top one. Could have.
Yeah.
And Porro was obviously here last window. Destiny, I'm counting Destiny on this bottom side only because you weren't there. But if you look at that, last season, Perisic, Longley, Dyer, Tanganga, Doherty. Okay, Romero, like we said, could have been there. Well, now it's Destiny, Mickey, Radu, Kuti, and Porro. Look at that. You can say 6 windows because Romero's been here a bit longer, but the mainstay of that have come from January, and I'm counting Destiny as a new signing. I know he was bought the season before, but that for a defence where it was a huge problem, that is a massive turnaround, isn't it, Ash?
Yeah, it's an absolutely amazing job. Like, credit where credit is due. I'm not somebody who praises management really often, but in this case, it's something that we must do because they really have transformed that backline, and it shows in every game. Our defense. I mean, last year our defense was shambolic, and that improvement wasn't. And it's not like they improved it a little bit. They improved it a lot. It's one of the best defenses cohesively as a unit in the league. Everyone knows their role. Everyone knows exactly what they want to do. And not only that, not only do we have this defense, but we also have depth to come in years. Because I believe, Phillips, Dorrington, these are players who will come good. And I also believe that we've signed these young Vushkovic and a bunch of others. So we have like centre backs to come for years now, in case, just in case they work out. So I do think we have sorted out our back line for the next 4 or 5 years for sure.
Yep, I just want to say my little brother's here, and he thinks it's clever to try and wind me up. He's even laughing at the fact that he's winding me up at 4:15 a.m. Well, when you're here in about, what is it now, 9-10 days time? Do you remember when you were a little kid and you got put in time out and you had to sit in the corner of a room? I have a lovely balcony just over here.
Oh.
Your jacket's going to go missing, as is your gloves, your hat, and any kind of winter protection. And right now it's currently minus 23. Then we'll see how much winding up we get. Listen, if I need to train you, I will train you. So we will see when you're here. Mark, what do you reckon of that photo I've just put up?
Yeah. I'm convinced that this defence will be as good as Toby, Jan, Walker and Rose. When we had them, that was the best defence I'd ever seen at our club, and I'm of the belief that this defence will be as good, if not better. Because and it's like Ash said, we're getting the depth there as well now. Radu's come in. We haven't seen him play yet, but from what I've seen on like YouTube, he's adequate cover. We haven't got Dyer, and then everything goes like pear-shaped. It's brilliant, I'd say.
There we go. Well, the other one, actually, Dave, I hadn't gone to you. What do you reckon of that photo?
Yeah, we talk about backing a manager. For me, that is, this is the first manager we've had since Poch. And bear in mind, we've had 3 of them since Poch that actually didn't use a player in that back line that was under Poch. Do you know what I mean? And It was the first. And I was speaking to my brother, who's a United fan, because we talk after the game and stuff like. And here's a mad one for you. That's the first time Christian Eriksen's been back to play against Tottenham, right? And not actually played against a previous teammate. There was not one person on that pitch that he actually didn't play with.
Well, yeah, the only one would have been Sonny and Davies, and they're both out.
Exactly, and they weren't there. So it shows you that there's been a massive change within the club. And we just hope that it carries on. The defence now looking pretty good. Romero against United, once again, with Van de Ven next to him, he takes that rashness away from himself. He takes that worry that he's going to do a red card challenge or something like that. I think he made one foul? And it wasn't even a foul. It was a good tackle.
Yeah,
it was just an aggressive tackle. But with Van de Ven, there's that setup there. We've got that Alderweireld, Vertonghen style setup. We've got our Walker. We've got our Rose on the wings. Do you know what I mean?
Play, actually, from Rayman. Maybe did he not play with Skip at all?
No, I don't think he did. No, I think Skip was still youth, wasn't he?
Because Winks, we had
Skip.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right. So yeah, that would have been the only chance, and if that would have been very, very, very briefly, if at all. But just 2 messages very quickly. Good morning, Chris. I hope you don't need to go outside today because it is not looking pretty out there. I went out yesterday and I forgot about how bad it is walking on ice, and I didn't have my winter boots on. Thankfully, I took pigeon steps. I took a leaf out of Richarlison's book and took pigeon steps, and I managed not to fall arse over tit, which I normally do. And David, thank you once again for giving out another membership, whoever received it. If you are a member on the North American side of things or around that time zone, we will be having a fan show 8 p.m. Toronto time, so 1 a.m. UK time. So if you're about and want to come on and join the show, that will be your chance. Final player to talk about that could be going out unless anything breaks. Ryan Sessegnon has been told to look for a new club. Now, just to make it clear, his contract does run out this summer. Spurs have the option to extend it for 1 year. Whether they rip it up as I've got a feeling this could be ripped up at the end of January. That's my my hunch that there may be a contract rigged up, and it could be him, or Spurs are going to probably take another year so they can try and get some money on it. Ash, this has been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Yeah, please just go away. Just leave. Please, Ryan. I mean, you know what I can't believe is when we first signed him, before we signed him, the previous year when we were looking at signing, Fulham was saying things like we want 100 mil for the player. Like it's insanity to me that that's the player. Like it was their best player, and they were like, "Oh, we want 100 mil for him," and finally we signed him for like some ridiculously small amount that was not 100 mil, and and now I just want him to go. Go or like work like figure out some magical sports science thing that makes you the expert on sports science. Like I don't want him to play. I don't want him to be a player. You do anything else, serve lunch, give coffee, anything but play football. This boy, his like his hamstrings are not meant for football. Like at some point, you just have to be like, this is a health intervention. Let's just like not play Ryan Sessegnon.
Yeah, it's got to the point. I mean, when I heard that he was out of the Manchester United team because he's picked up an injury, even after coming on for about 8 minutes, it's madness, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, when he came on against Brighton, no, not Brighton, Burnley in the cup, I'd honestly forgotten what he looked like. I honestly couldn't remember what he looked like. It's the first time we'd seen him in a year. You know, I mean, to be honest, what did we pay for him? 30 million? Was it 30? 30
Around
million?
about 25.
Yeah. I mean,
bang on 25.
Yeah, I mean, how many games has he played for us? It can't be no more than about 10.
No, he's played. Let me have a look. Let me bring it up whilst you carry on.
Yeah, I was going to say, because like he plays one game, then he's out for like 3 months or 4 months. You know,
let me check how many games he's played. Go on, carry on, Mark.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't ever remember him starting many. I mean, all of his appearances has been as a substitute, as far as I know. I mean, I'm probably wrong, but like,
let's have a guess. Let's have a guessing game. How many do you reckon, Mark?
Oh, I think I've just read the comments.
Oh, you cheater!
Yes, well, I'm sorry, but the comments are going up.
Okay, but don't look at the comments. See, they may be right. They may be wrong. What do you reckon?
Well, I said I can't even remember 10. That is what I said. So I'll go for 9.
You're going for 9. Okay.
Yes.
Ash, how many are you going for?
I would say started counting all the cups and useless games. It would be like 15 maybe. And played say about 27, 28. He's been here for a while. We don't realize how long he's been here.
Okay. How many games do you reckon, Dave?
That he started and played.
That he's played. We'll just do played.
Oh, just played, yeah. We signed him, 2019 was it?
Yep.
It's got to be about 33, 34?
So, he's played 26 league games, 12 as sub, 7 FA Cup games, 1 as sub, 1 League Cup game, and 1 as sub. So, not bad for £25 million and over 4 years.
Yeah, well, there we go. That's about 700,000 a game.
It's ridiculous. AU's right. I mean, I actually call him Weetabix.
Yeah.
Because literally you put him in milk and he'll snap. That's how bad it is. He had all the promise in the world, and I thought as a left winger, he would come down and do well. Chingford, it's a 4-year contract, 5-year contract with the option of another year. So that final year there is a year's extension if Spurs decide to to take advantage of it, which they may well do for money, or they may say, I mean, do we think he goes this window? Ash?
Do you like right now this window? I don't think
As
see
in
it.
January, yeah.
Summer, I think, is when we get rid of him. I don't see it happening now. Also because FFP is happening, and because of that,
Yeah.
most clubs are just not buying anyone. So we're the only people who seem to have bought people. So yeah, I don't see it happening this window.
Okay. Dave, do you see him going this window or summer?
No,
by the way,
summer. I
David
mean,
has gifted yet another membership to someone. David, thank you very much indeed, sir, and the lucky recipient. Yeah, sorry, Dave, you were about to say.
yeah, with him being injured again, he's not going to go this window. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's a small knock or whatever, have you? Teams now would be looking for loan deals anyway. Like Ash just said, with financial fair play and the whole debacle around that at the moment, clubs are scared. I mean, Spurs are not. You know, we're all right. We could carry on buying if we want to, and it's a great opportunity. Will Levy take it? Who knows? But the only way I see Sess leaving would be a loan, and it'd be pointless because he'll go out on loan, he'll play one game, and like dried spaghetti, he'll snap again, and he'll be injured.
Thanks to our West Ham correspondent who happens to have the sense to fall in love with a Tottenham Hotspur supporter who's just above me. Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted, and oh dear, Tottenham have not changed their position on Japhet Tanganga. The plan is to recall the defender as he's never played for Augsburg. New loan expected, as Spurs want to find a solution for Tanganga as soon as possible. So, by the looks of it, Japhet Tanganga's coming back. But I have to say this, who in their right mind is going to say, do you know what? You haven't played a single second in Germany. You've been injured. Then a new coach came in and he hasn't liked you. You haven't played a single minute. January window is bought for players, obviously, teams needing to improve their squad, whether it be to push in the title race, starve off relegation, or just make sure they're away from that relegation. Who in their right mind, and I don't mean this as a pot shot at Tanganga, says right now, all right, thank you very much for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. Who in their right mind turns around and says, do you know what? Like we picked Timo Werner out. We picked Timo Werner completely out of the blue. Who right now will say, do you know what? Ash, I want Japhet Tanganga.
I mean, I struggle to think about it because in the championship, like right now, with all the financial woes everyone has, why would you buy an injury prone player? It makes no sense to me to buy somebody who might get injured again. So nobody would want to take that risk. And I do feel like the amount of injuries Tanganga has had, it just means that, like physical leagues like the championship, like the Premier League, like the Serie A, there'd be no interest in him whatsoever. And he doesn't have the ball playing abilities for something like a La Liga. So I don't see where he can be sent. But I would suggest that he's one of our own, but I still think that we should just get rid of him now. It's time.
I can agree more. I mean, Nick, where is he? My brother's in the house. I said, I don't mind Japhet coming back. I want him to do well. He's never been played in one position due to one thing or another. Listen, there's a reason I called him Google Street Map, because every time we have an injury, we just pick him up and plop him in a position. That's all we do with Japhet. I love him. I think people have said he'd be brilliant in the Ange system, and I think he will. But just like Gio Lo Celso, you cannot trust this guy to stay fit. Mark, what's your feelings on Japhet Tanganga?
Yeah, but he's another one. I mean, we just got to start ripping contracts up, surely. I mean, even if we got to take the hit on it, their wages will be off the book for a start. You know, I mean,
Let's look. When's his contract run out? Let's just check Japhet's.
With his injury record, you know, I mean, he's just stealing the living being here. I mean, there's got to be times when you just say, just goodbye. Even if you've got to pay him off.
His contract is he's got 18 months.
Yeah.
He's got 18 months, so there's going to be no ripping up whatsoever. Dave, what's your feelings on a certain Japhet Tanganga?
Well, probably not many people are going to like this, but I don't like him. I've never liked him as a player personally.
Okay.
I remember I think it was under Conte, was it? 4 games in a row, he committed an error leading to goal. Right?
Oh, that's 3 of them.
Yeah, right. He committed an actual error that led to a goal. Right? Do you know who got the flack for that? He didn't. He didn't get the flack for that. No, Joe Rodon did.
No.
Joe Rodon got the flack for Tanganga committing 4 errors leading to goal. Right? And he had one good game, I think it was against Liverpool. And that was it. He's done nothing else. For me, it's another player who we thought would come good. We thought we'd have something there. He's not it. It's time to get rid as best we can, whether it's doing a deal, swap with another player, you know what I mean? Put money on top, whatever. These are the type of players we need out of the club.
Yeah.
They're not good enough. They're going to sit there catching a wage until the contract runs out, and we're going to get nothing for them. So, it's just time to move on, basically.
Okay, so before we go on to the next subject, which is going to be much more happier, much more positive, and something we've been waiting to do, James came up with a great question, and I've had this discussion with him before. Let's see what everyone else in the chat. And there's 233 of you in here, so thank you for joining us this morning. People praise Don Fab for his incomings, which correct. Is he being given, because of all of his incomings, are we forgetting outgoings where it has, listen, they're going out now. They're going out, and obviously they're getting near the end of the contract. But when you look at it, we're big enough right now to praise Levy, like I have done with deals coming in. But I'm obviously with deals that haven't come in, we will go mad at. Ash, how are you feeling with Tottenham as a whole, but obviously Paratici with outgoings?
Well, the problem with Tottenham right now is I don't know where to lay credit or blame. Who's responsible for the outgoings? Is it Langer? Is it Paratici? Is it McKenzie? I don't know where to apportion either credit or blame. It works out both ways, and that works out for them as well because the anger is diffused amongst many people. So but I will say this, that our low wage structure means that it's slightly easier for us to get rid of deadwood than teams like Man United, etc., who are really struggling far worse than us to get rid of deadwood. I will say that the outgoings have been there. You can see that we Sanchez went away. We got rid of Eric Dyer. Hugo wasn't deadwood, but we got rid of him. So we have been seeing outgoing slowly. I have a feeling Højbjerg also at some point will. I feel like Højbjerg will at some point leave as well. So I do see the changing of the guard. It's like that picture you showed. All the people in the defenders in the previous sort are all not at our club anymore. So I think I think it's slowly happening. But yes, I will say that there was a time under Conte when we had so much deadwood that we couldn't get anyone in. So that was a problem that Paratici had. Maybe his best role is as consultant, where he does all the cool signings and scouting and doesn't have to deal with the daily sort of rigmarole of filling out forms and cancelling contracts and keeping track of everyone.
There we go. Listen, Mark, where are you? And I have to say, it's true. There's a few people saying this where this is a major factor of it as well. Obviously, when we are weighing up the deal and putting too much of a price tag on it, or you look at players like people said, this was said here, that literally some of these players probably wouldn't even pass the fitness test.
No,
I mean,
definitely not.
Let's just say it's Sessegnon, for example. If he was to leave the club, then obviously I don't see how he passes it. But I just want to change something as well because it's breaking now. Apparently, Alfie could be joining Ashley Phillips. Like I said, I thought Championship. And obviously, if they can strike a deal with Plymouth, and again, it'll be a player that the manager has worked with. My God, you put my two players, my two youngsters that I said to watch together. They're going to go from where are they in the league? They're quite low, aren't they?
They're about 17th, 18th.
Okay, they've got enough time to make a playoff run with Alfie. Okay, good. Plymouth for the playoffs. Plymouth in the Prem next year. There's my wild prediction, which I am joking with.
19th they are.
19th now. How many points off the playoffs? Just for a laugh.
Let me check. They're currently sitting on 30 points and playoff. What isn't 4th, 5th playoff? Is it
third, fourth,
sixth? So they're 10 points off.
They're 10 points off the playoffs.
Apparently so. Yeah, if I'm reading this right. Yeah.
There you go. I'm going to stand by my marker.
That's a tight league, isn't it?
I'm going to stand by my marker. But this is the thing. So happy that he went to Port Vale and started playing in the League One, as I've said here and on social media and everywhere. This is the right development for him. This is exactly what we should be doing. We also what Alan McAnally said about Phillips on his debut. It was all gone up. Mate, let him go and get some Championship football. I think they've upped his development. What I will say, and I've said it again, if you go back and watch Alistair Gold, whenever he's done a bit about Alfie Devine, all he has said is in this league with the under-17s, under-18s, they've had to move him out because he's outgrown it. And then 6 months later, they've had to move him up. He's outgrown it. And obviously the same has happened right here, right now with Alfie. And hopefully he is going to the Championship and he will then absolutely get a lot more game time down there at Plymouth, playing the football that obviously Spurs want him to because they can see what Phillips is going to be doing. But getting back to Paratici, Dave, what's your thoughts on Paratici with the outgoing?
Yeah, first I just want to reply to a comment in there saying that the reason I don't like Tanganga was because of the Rodon thing. That's not the case. No, I didn't rate Tanganga beforehand. Right? Let me just put that out there. I do not like. It's not like I don't like him because a Welsh player got slated at the time. No, I'd never rated Tanganga. Yeah, I was just pointing out the fact that at that point he made 4 mistakes in 4 games. That's it. Nothing to do with Welsh. Nothing, no bias, nothing. Right? Rodon was never going to fit this club. You know what I mean? I'm glad he's doing well at Leeds, and I hope Leeds put a bid in for him and buy him. Anyway, with Paratici, yeah, he's brought in some fantastic players. At the end of the day, you look at the talent he's brought us in. Some not so great, but I mean, no director of football at the time brings in perfect players every single time. But I'm hoping Lange, Mackenzie and that are more involved now. We heard with who was it? I think it was Dragusin. They were the ones who were all over that deal. It wasn't actually Paratici. Now, whether that's just paper talk and whatnot, we don't know the ins and outs because we're not within it. But yeah,
I can let you know, Lange was all over it.
Yeah, so
Lange
there we
was
go.
Completely, and I know that. I know.
So with this data that apparently we're using to find these players, hopefully this carries on. I don't mind us looking at them type of players, yeah, if they fit the squad, if they fit the manager, if they're going to progress us, then great. You know what I mean? If Paratici's there giving us the little, oh, go have a look at this player and all that, fantastic. But I hope Lange and Mackenzie are doing the work as well. I hope we're not just sitting there going off what Paratici says, because Paratici's not going to be here forever, you know?
Well, David, I'm going to stay with you because some more news is breaking. I love it when we do these morning shows and things start developing. I can't wait for deadline day. Deadline day, I've told my wife who sits opposite me, you're going into the office because me and Ryan will be here with Sky Sports News on all day and we're going to be loud and streaming non-stop. So I've ordered her to go to the office. She wasn't best happy when you think how cold it may be, but she's doing it. Such is the love for my wife. But now, why I wanted to stay with you, Dave, is there's 2 people that said this. Sean Slater has said it as well. Apparently, this is a loan. All I can say is they can carry on wanting. There's no way this man should be going anywhere near another football club until the summer, unless there is a Tosin or someone coming through this door, there should definitely be no Davies. And before I let you go and talk there, I'm just going to bring up, because David Shire has just put in a super sticker. And the one annoying thing with StreamYard is they don't show super stickers. So there it is, David. Thank you very much indeed for your super sticker. I don't even know what that is. It's someone laughing. Okay, it's someone going ha ha ha. David, thank you very much indeed once again, sir. Dave, back to you regarding Ben Davies.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. There's no way we loan Ben Davies out right now because
That they
there's
can
no
have.
cover. Yeah,
That
they could take
can have.
sets.
They
Yeah,
can have
but-
him, but Ben Davies is a non-starter for me.
Right. Listen, I get that Ben Davies isn't a player majority of people like, yeah, but no one can deny that when Van der Ven got injured, he stepped up. Is he good enough to lead us the next couple of years? Is that no? Is he an okay backup? Yes. Can we replace him? 100%. We should be looking at replacing him, but in the summer. To do that now would. What left back could we realistically get in that's going to hit the ground running? We need a left back to come, not left back, sorry, a left centre back, yeah, who would be able to fit straight within the squad because we're coming mid-January now. They're not going to have much time with the squad as it is. It would be illogical to get rid of Davis now because Van der Ven got cramp against United, yeah? What's to say next game, he goes and picks up a little knock or something like that. Then this new player comes in who's had no time within the team.
Yep.
So Ben Davies knows the squad. He's definitely been working with Dragoshin, sorry.
Yeah, you have to say his name right in case people.
I know, Dragoshin. So for me, they would have been working together like Romero and Van der Ven worked together, yeah? So for me, Summer definitely looked to upgrade on him 100%. Right now, he is not a bad backup to keep for any issues or rotation or anything like that. And that's my thoughts on it, basically.
There you go. Thank you, Tigaro, for the super chat. He's sending out positive vibes, that says. So it just says good vibes. Thank you very much indeed for everyone supporting the channel, whether it be a membership, whether it be super chats, whether it be merchandise, whether it be just coming and joining us in the chat and liking and subscribing. So much credit goes to you guys, and thank you for helping us grow this channel. It's growing rapidly. And we have become very, very proud of where the channel is going. Ash, oh no, I haven't come to Mark yet. I'll go to Mark then to you, Ash. What's your thoughts on for us achieving the outgoings?
Yeah, well, he's especially with the outgoings, he's sort of stuck in a hard place, isn't he? Because we've got that many here that nobody else wants to buy.
Yeah,
and it's got worse now. It has got worse now because of, the FFP and what's the other thing? Profit and sustainability. Because there's no Premiership teams apart from us has made a signing yet. And normally it's like you said, January is the month where people try to buy people, because they're struggling down near the bottom or they want a little push to get in the top 4 or something, but it's very difficult at the moment for us to get rid of anyone because for a start, nobody wants them. And why would they waste some of their FFP money on players that aren't even fit? It doesn't make sense. So he's sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place, if you want my opinion.
There you go. Well, do you know what? We're going to go on to the good subject. The good news. There should be a certain player available for Manchester City. There should be a player that we have been missing big time. James Maddison is back. And you know what? There's so many people. I am going to say this first of all before we kick it off, and I'm going to come to you, Ash, first as always. People keep saying wait till Richarlison starts playing with him. I think the biggest player that's going to benefit from having this man back, and I'm putting my fingers crossed, and Colin Cross will be very, very happy. I'm going to say this, as will David, because I've backed this man since we signed him. I was not really for it when we got him. I think the man that benefits the most from James Maddison is one Johnson. Brennan Johnson. We keep talking, when Richarlison gets the balls early. They played that a little bit before with Crystal Palace, where they linked up really well and got the assist for Son. Ash, how good is it to have... Two questions. How good is it to have Maddison back? And which player do you reckon will benefit the most from having him back?
Mike.
You're muted, Ash.
My God, I'm so excited I forgot to unmute myself. My God, James Maddison back is just one of those godsend things, especially in this game. I was, when I saw KDB is a cheat code. He should not exist in any realm of football. My God, he gave it 15 minutes, bang, bang, 1 goal, 1 assist, and it was all over for Newcastle. And so I was really dreading playing this City team without Sonny, because Sonny against City always scores, but without him, I don't know where it would have come from. But now that James Maddison is back, we have that creative edge, and I think both Werner and Johnson will benefit from that, because their speed will allow them to sort of be played off of. So Maddison can do what Kane used to do for us, which is control the midfield, do all the creative work in the midfield, and make amazing passes to both the wings. So I see that happening, and I see, you're right, I do see Johnson benefiting more from it, because more often than not, Maddison, he's in the center and he strays off to the left a little bit. And so if the ball does come in, the pass does come in, most likely it'll be to whoever's on the right wing. And, that's generally Johnson for us. So if that does happen, I see him benefiting from that for sure. So yeah, I'd agree with you, Brendan Johnson.
Okay. Mark?
Now, I can see all of the three benefiting, because as soon as he gets the ball, he plays it. There's no one touch, and then people have run offside, like Werner did in the last game. Yeah, that's what that's what I just said. I think they all do, because he passes it immediately. You look against United, Werner was caught offside. That was only because whoever in the midfield was like messing about with it. He made the run expecting it instantly, and if it had been played instantly, he'd have been onside. So I think all three of them, because the pace we've got down the flanks. If that ball's like played immediately and they do time their runs, they're going to be away. And if they like flick it in the middle for Richie, I honestly think Richie's going to get more goals with James Maddison back, because his distribution from the middle is second to none. I don't want to pick on him, but he's not a Højbjerg that when he gets the ball has got to stop it, control it, and then pass, and the players run offside. As soon as he gets it, it's on the half turn, whoop, and he's off. And the winger's off. So I think all three of the front three will benefit without a shadow of doubt.
There we go, Dave.
Well, majority of the time when I speak about Johnson, I get a lot of stick, right? Because I point out certain things, and with our fan base, a select few within our fan base, unless a player comes in and immediately hits the ground running, they're rubbish, they're bad, they're not worth their money. Take away Johnson's price tag and look at him as a player, He's young. He came into a squad. I agree with this,
though. I agree with this.
That's what I was going to say. Right, he's young, He came into the squad injured, right? He had no preseason, came at the end of the window. He picked up another injury, right? Majority of the games that he was starting, he had to come off early because, like Chelsea game, Romero red card, Luton game, he had to come off then. Can he do better, and should he? Yes, he should, right? That's fact, He looks very scared at the moment. He looks like a kid in a big world. Right?
Yep.
But people need to take away that price tag. If Ange did want him, and Ange turned around to Levy and said, I wanted Brendan Johnson, isn't that what we want? For the owners to go, okay, then we'll go buy him. And went out and bought him. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
He's got no one there at the moment to take his spot. right? So with him playing like this and being underconfident, you could take him off and put Kulu there. Kulu's not there. Our midfield is ravaged. Do you know what I mean? We've got 2 players out in AFCON. We've got injuries there, right? To players who can help the forward line, the likes of Maddison's, the Sars. I mean, even Bissouma, right? They're the type of players that can come in and help the front line. Now, I will always point out, right, this fan base, criticised Kulusevski when he first come to it, right? He's too slow, he's not good enough, he's rubbish. They criticised Porro, right? They literally criticised Porro. He's rubbish, all this, Exactly. But now they're screaming best right back in the lead. He's up there with Trent Alexander-Arnold. But he weren't good.
Go on,
Ash. Yeah.
With Brennan Johnson, it's not Brennan Johnson's fault he's doing badly. It is the team's fault for not having any depth in the forward line. And I'll tell you why. Because it used to be that young players, they have to play themselves into the team. They start as super subs. They learn from the people. They learn from people like Sonny, and they learn from people like Richie. And then they, once they have those skills, once they get that confidence, they, with more and more minutes under their belt, that's when they start. That used to be the way it works. But because we don't have the depth, because we need to play Kulu in midfield, we're starting this kid day in and day out when he hasn't learned enough and done enough in the team after coming in to start. With Dragushin, we will have him play off the bench. Romero and Van der Ven are there. They're our first choice right now.
Yep.
And so this kid, he's 21. He'll learn and come on in FA Cup games. He'll learn his skills from the best defenders there are in the league, like two of the best defenders that are in the league. So I think the Brennan Johnson's lack of performance is not just on Brennan Johnson. It's on our club. We should have more options in our wing. It's just we've been unfortunate with Perisic and Solomon and all. The left wing was was already like this difficult, and then the midfield also got injured. So Kulu was shifted. There was too much happening in terms of injuries. So it's just been really, really unfortunate.
I think in answer to this, I think this time next year, he's our first choice right winger.
I've always said this as well. I've said this.
Simple as that. Listen, I might be completely, totally, and utterly wrong. But I think once that full strength team is back, once they can rotate with him, once he can get a summer with them as well, I still think he comes good at the end of the season. I think once he gets a full pre-season under his belt, once they've got him where they need to be, there's too much pressure on him right now, just like Ash said, because of our lack of strength and depth and the options we've had. I reckon this time next season, basically the same as Porro, maybe not to the elite of Porro, but going from the whipping boy, so to speak, to where we're talking about Porro now, where he just has to start. Now, one that maybe very quickly we'll deal with this. We'll just go because then there's a couple of questions to deal with. Have Spurs missed an opportunity? We hear that word often, and you know what? Right now, even I will say they've given themselves a grace period to find opportunities. Obviously, I want more in the door, but normally at this time we're looking for opportunities with no one in the door. That's not the case this time. If Dorbaum, I think they were looking at 30 million in the summer. He's now going to Marseille for 13. Dave, have we missed an opportunity, or is this a lucky escape?
Well, I haven't watched much of him, to be fair, but when you watch a club asking 30 million one window and then the next they're literally trying to get rid of him for less than half, it kind of tells a story, doesn't it? I mean, he's played, is it 12 games this season? I think it is, and he's had 3 goals. We talk about our front line not scoring goals, and people want to add another one there that can't apparently score goals. If you look at the way he's playing, then you say he's not scoring goals this season. So, and the fact that we've got the likes of Valise, Scarlett, players like that, it's just adding another youth player into the fold who's not going to get game time. Why is he going to get game time? Because one season he had a great season. Now he's having a drop-off. It's one of them, you know what I mean? Have we missed out? I can't say that because you never know how he would come into our team. He could come in, go banging Harry Kane numbers. No one would know that. But you look at the way it has gone, to drop him by half his amount previous season, that's a big telling point. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's a missed opportunity, but I don't see the point in going for him while we got players like Valise, Scarlett sitting there.
Yep, there we go. There we go. Ash, your thoughts on Gift Orban?
Oh, it's a lucky escape. I think it's a really lucky escape. Some of these players are just purple patch players, and we get really excited about them. Like both forwards and with other positions, like the Raya thing. It's just that some, like Todibo, people just like there's a name out there and people haven't heard of them at all, but they look at their statistics and go, "Oh my God, they've scored these many goals or they've done these many tackles or something like that," and they're just like, "I want this player," and then they make it all about that. But actually, there may be other players out in the market who are just as good or even better. So I do think that this was a case of a purple patch player. If you really think that purple patch players are more than that, then you should give them 2-3 seasons to see what they'll be like. Because I do think that we should stop overpaying for
Leon,
players.
go to Leon. I thought Marseille. Sorry, my bad. Mark, your thoughts on Gift Orban?
Yeah, I agree with what David said. I mean, you don't want to stop the progression of the youngsters that we've already got here coming through, and bringing him in is just another. It's just another youngster, that might not get any game time. I mean, everyone raves about Dane Scarlett, but I've never really seen him play. I'd like to see him get minutes to see what he can do. Promote from within. I mean, if we all... That's funny. That's funny. When's Dybala coming?
We're still sorting out the invite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, just to let you know, just go on to TottenhamOnTour.com. Toronto on Tour. TottenhamOnTour.com. I ordered it. It's not us. We don't have it in. It gets created. I ordered a shirt and I had it in 4 days. So it will be delivered to you personally at any address you decide, home, work, wherever. So literally you order it online at TottenhamOnTour.com. We'll take care of everything else for you. Right, questions to quickly go through. 2 that I'll quickly go through because first one was, what is Alfie Devine's best position? I know him, but not that well. 10, I assume, but he can also play. He can play anywhere in the midfield. He's been playing 6. If you go and look at his compilations, you'll find him on my Twitter. If you just type in Alfie Devine on my Twitter, his passing range is like, I would say, Tom Huddleston-esque with his passing. And Tom Huddleston, I put probably is the best passer of a football we've had since Glenn Hoddle. That's how good Huddleston was with his passing range. Sorry, he can play anywhere in the midfield or left, right, at the top of the attack. But I think Spurs want him in central midfield, whether that's a 6 or an 8. We'll wait and see. But he does everything. The other one was that one. Sorry, is the last one. We're going to go around the table. I've said it all. I've said it since Terry Venables died and passed away. This year, our name is on the cup. So the question is, our trophy jout end this year with the FA Cup. Please, God, I really am. And if when we beat Manchester City, then it's going to be easy street. But final question, we'll go around the table. I'm going to start with you, David. Why is Johnson not trying to take his man on? I find that the most frustrating thing. We know he can do it, so why?
Maybe it's a confidence thing. I don't know. At Forest, I've seen him do it, but he wasn't one to do it all the time. He used to go down the byline and put the ball in. It could be a confidence thing. But then if you watch the United games, some of the balls to him were always behind him. If you watched Porro passing to him, a lot of the times the balls were behind him. So he weren't running onto the balls. He was having to try and get back. And people slated him for not reaching that ball or something. You're talking about he was against Wan-Bissaka, yeah? Who people know has got that little bit of a short burst of pace, right? Now, when you're a player looking to run off the ball and that ball's behind you, he's having to stop his momentum. He's having to turn back, Wan-Bissaka's the defender who's looking to actually run onto the ball. So there's a little thing there, but I know he can do it. I'm hoping this confidence builds up. I'm hoping whatever's going on with him, he can get out of this little rut he's in. But I'm hoping coming to the end of the season with players coming back, we'll see a lot more of him and see him actually trying to take on players. For me at the moment, I think it's a confidence thing. I think he's in that world of a young lad in a big club. Do you know what I mean? I know people say, oh, he's played in the Prem and the Forest and everything. He's come to Tottenham. Sometimes that can get in players' heads. He's at a big club, you know? We all say we're a big club and we're a massive club, you know?
There's that
So
as
it's
well.
one of them.
There's
What's
that
that?
as well. Ash, your thoughts on Brennan?
I think it's very simple. I think he doesn't want to lose the ball. He's scared of losing the ball. That's why he doesn't want to take the player on. And fair enough, he's gotten a bit of stick in the last couple of games from Spurs fans. And I really think that sort of plays in your confidence as well. And so more so, you don't want to lose the ball. So but I do think that if he wants to be successful at a big club, he needs to have the confidence to go for it, even if he does lose the ball. Because Ange is the perfect manager for mistakes. Ange will let it go if he's tried.
There you go. And finally, Mark, your thoughts on why he's not trying it?
Yeah, I mean, the first time that Brennan come into like public domain is when he cooked Arsenal in the third round of the cup. He was all over them, on that wing.
Yep.
I mean, he's young. You got to remember this. He's young. And I've always said give him till next year and he'll be a superstar. He will be an absolute superstar. Me and Bobby Kay have both said this. He will be an absolute superstar. I'm convinced of it because he's got the pace. He's just young, but to be honest, he's still learning. He is still learning. I mean, how old is he, David? 20?
He's 23.
Oh, 23.
Oh, 22 going on 23, sorry.
22.
22.
Yeah.
But even so, he's still learning the game. And to be honest, he's only just got here. I mean, he's we've had a new manager. He's still learning. He's still give the boy a chance. I am absolutely convinced he's going to be a superstar. Absolutely.
The one
There you
thing
go.
I'd like to point out, if that's all right, yeah?
Yeah, go on, buddy.
Right. So when it comes to Johnson, yeah, we all rave about how great of a manager Ange is, yeah, and how much he's progressed our team and everything, yeah? If Ange didn't trust him, Ange wouldn't play him. We've seen that with Royal getting put into centre-back over the likes of Dyer and that, yeah? If Ange didn't trust him as a player and believed he can give something to the team, he wouldn't play him. He'd throw someone else there. He'd probably throw Porro up there and put Emerson as a right back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we'll see coming in the next few months, yeah, how Ange trusts him or how he believes where Johnson is when players are coming back fit, yeah? When Kulu's back, when the midfield's back, when Sonny's back, everything like that, yeah, right? We'll see where he is in there because Ange put him on the left, Ange has put him on the right. So Ange trusts him as a player. So we'll see how Ange deals with whatever's going on with Johnson. And in the coming couple of weeks, couple of months, we'll see where he's at then.
There you go. There you go. And David, we'll go around with you first of all. Where can people find you?
Sorry, was that me? Sorry, I was reading comments. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Rodrigo Roadman. If you want to see really bad takes, mid games and stuff like that, and I'm also part of the GOPT. Big up the GOPT.
Yep, goddamn
Great
right.
bunch of people.
Ash, darling, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Talking Ball, and I'll actually be doing a show in like 55 minutes if anyone wants to join me there. I mostly do Hindi shows, but I'm kind of like trying something new, so it'll be in English. Y'all will be able to understand. I have to remember to speak English, but it'll work out, I'm sure.
Everyone go give Ash a like on that channel. And Mark, where can people find you, sir?
Normally shouting at clouds and pointing at weird things.
Thing to do. It's a good thing to do. Well, there's 223 of you still here. Tottenham on Tour will be back 8 p.m. Toronto time, 1 a.m. UK time for the North America fan show. It doesn't mean you have to be in North America. It's just a time zone. If you're awake and you want to come on, or you want some Tottenham stuff to watch, we will be there. If not, I will see you tomorrow on Cockerel Doodle Doo. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, Levy out.